News reporter Melissa Prax joins us now from Chicago to help us understand some of the implications here. Melissa, I wonder just first of all, what's so important about this Louisiana case?
Yeah, so it's really going to be an indicator of what the Supreme Court, in its current state, views as too burdensome for pregnant people who are seeking abortions. It's also very adjacently related to Roe versus Wade. As we're seeing 2020 move along and the abortion debate is continuing, we're going to see a lot of people on the campaign trail mentioning cases like these that are happening. And because this has gone all the way up to the Supreme Court, obviously that's super important. Caitlin mentioned admitting privileges, but that's not all that this law would entail. It would also require clinics that provide abortions to have some other implications, such as required certain types of equipment, make sure that corridors had certain measurements. So there are a lot of specifics that could accrue quite a bit of costs on clinics that want to provide services like abortion.
I wonder how the new members of the Supreme Court could impact this ruling. Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, new members since the beginning of the Trump administration. Are abortion rights activists worried about them?
Absolutely. I mean, the last time, as Caitlin had mentioned, there was a similar case a few years ago in Texas that went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and that was struck down by only a 5-4 decision. So now that the Supreme Court looks differently, there is likely a chance that this could go through. I will just read one quote from the current acting Planned Parenthood president because I think it's really pertinent here. She said this afternoon, if the Supreme Court allows this Louisiana law to stand now, it will be defying precedent and could make the protections of Roe virtually meaningless. This case could pave the way for states to take the right to abortion away from 25 million people of reproductive age. So that just gives you a little bit of a view into kind of what pro-choice folks are thinking.
So if the court rules in favor of this law in Louisiana, what does that mean for other states with strict abortion laws?
Right. So right now in the abortion debate, I think there's two types of laws. One that are kind of outright bans specifically targeting abortion. And then there are laws and policies trying to go through, like this Louisiana case, which don't outright ban it, but offer a lot more hoops to kind of jump through. So I can imagine that if this law does go through, that other states may be inspired to kind of follow suit. And I would really encourage people to look at Texas if this does go through, because they may just try to re-up their law that went through a few years ago and now maybe be able to get it to pass.
Melissa Prax, I appreciate your insight on this and covering the details to help us understand the importance. Before I let you go, I want to note that today is your last day here at Newsy, and we so appreciate everything that you have done for us. You have told great stories. You have interviewed some compelling characters. And you've been with us for many years and seen many iterations of Newsy. So thanks for sticking it all out. It has been a pleasure to have you, and we're going to miss you around here.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you to all the sources who shared your stories with me, especially women, and being able to highlight women's stories was such an honor for me. And also to all of my coworkers who behind the scenes helped me get all of those stories together. I couldn't have done it by myself.
A lot of love for you here, Mel Prax. We're going to miss you. Thanks much. We'll be back right after this.